welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I kind of want to do a different video. I want to do like an unedited, straight up review on tires that I bought for this 2016 Dodge Challenger RT Plus Super Track Pack car. And the reason why I say all of the whole title of the car is just so people know what type of car this is for the non-Challenger community and groups. And I want to talk about cheap tires and what constitute cheap tires. So let's start her up. Basically, this car came stock with F1 supercar tires, which is I guess Eagle's premier, Goodyear's premier tire. That means it's a high performance 3-season tire. Now, 3-season tire seems reasonable, I guess, but you know, I live in the Northeast. We have different climates, obviously, you know, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And to have a car like this year-round, which I like to drive as much as I can, unless it's, you know, really snowing out or above an inch of snow or you know, ice and sleet, stuff like that, I like to drive this car year-round. Now, what I found is that it's not really possible with these type of tires. After, I say, about 34 degrees, the F1 tires would turn out to be like hockey pucks. You'd be skating around all over the place, and it's really scary. Even with the traction control and all the nannies in there, you still have the cars all over the place. So, from reading on the Challenger boards, Charger Challenger, the Dodge boards, and other YouTube subscribers and people making videos, I chose the az850 275/40/20 tire. This car came stock with 245/45 or 245/45/20, I believe it is. I could be wrong. And I don't know why Dodge does this, but they under-tire these cars. I mean, extremely. I mean, this car needs a minimum of a 275/40. You know, even really like a 285 in the front and a 315 in the back for the weight of this vehicle and the performance of this vehicle. But I kind of get it. Maybe they do it for fuel economy reasons or for other reasons, for ride quality. Well, not even for ride quality, because to tell you the truth, with that smaller tire, and this car is the Super Track Pack car, and what that entails is the lower suspension and the stiffer springs and shocks. And with that type of tire, with the 9-inch wheel, because I think the stock RTs come with a 8-inch wheel, the tire is actually smaller than the rim. So a lot of times, you know, you hit a bump or something like that, you know, you really, it's a jarring experience. And also, you know, you got to really watch the curbs. Now with the 275/40/20 on a 9-inch wheel, it's perfect because the tire is not bulging. It's still flat. You know, it doesn't bulge out. It's not too big. It's the maximum width you can do for that. I'm sorry, the minimum width you can do for that tire. And the lip of the tire actually is out. It's actually protrudes over the rim. So basically, with the shoulder guards of the tire, you have added protection for bumps, for scrapes on the curbs, for all those items. Now, what I also noticed too is that going up from the high-performance 3-season tires, the car rode better, tracked better, and overall quieter too, believe it or not. Now, for the guys with the all-season tires that come with these cars, you're not going to notice much of a difference, except for since I went with the 275/40s, the width. And I think that should be standard across these cars. You know, the 20/9-inch, or even an 18/9-inch to have a fatter wheel. These cars are nose heavy. They handle extremely well for what they are. They are not a high performance as far as all-out racer, you know, speed racer car. It's not designed for it. It's more of a GT car. So when you come into the turns, the car tends to want to understeer or push in like this, come into the curve because of the weight bias, the weight transfer. So, and then, you know, you have all your nannies. It makes you a super driver with all the traction control and the stability control. So you really don't feel what the car is doing unless you take everything off and you really push it, and you can see that it wants to push in and then understeer, push like this and like yaw, and then when you hit the throttle to compensate, it'll kind of come out and oversteer. So let's take you for a ride and explain my thoughts on these tires. It's gonna be a long video. Hope you like it. You know, I'm just gonna talk up my ass for a little bit and show you the different road surfaces to get a feel of why I chose these tires. Now back to the subject. Cheap Chinese tires, or cheap Asian tires, or cheap tires from different countries or so. What makes that cheap? And to tell you the truth, this day and age, it really doesn't make a difference where something is made. 90% of our products come from China or from another faraway land. Look at all your iPhones, Androids, all the other stuff that comes out. Even these Challengers are made in, assembled in Canada. The engine's made in Mexico, and so it's really, per se, not really an American car. It's really manufactured by an American company, but by foreign people, or by people in the North American hemisphere, North and South American hemisphere, I guess. I don't know. Now it's a going trend. You got a 45,000 or a 40,000 plus car, and you got, you go in and spend tires that are under $500. Now, years ago that was unheard of. You would spend a lot of money on tires, and I guess with labor costs and everything like that, and companies who don't have the big budgeting of like Goodyear, BF Goodrich, or any of the other big tire manufacturers, they can afford to come in and to cut the price because they want to sell products. Because most of these companies probably make tires for the big companies also, in some way, shape, or form or another. So, granted. Now, to me, cheap tire is what the manufacturer wants to make and how they want to design. A lot of these, the cheaper Chinese tires, Chinese tires, I hear about, and also I've seen on people's cars, like the Lionhearts and all that kind of stuff. I think those manufacturers design a tire for their environment of where they are, and you have a salesman that says, "Oh, let's sell some more tires. Let's bring it over to America, or let's get this certified for there." So a lot of these tires you see are really these cheaper, like compact tires. I mean, really weren't designed for this environment. They were designed for different countries and hotter climates or colder climates or like that. So if you bring a tire like that over here, whatever. Plus, they don't drive as much too. A lot of these people in different countries, they don't put on 100,000 miles a year plus on their cars, or 50,000, or whatever it is. So I said, why not? Give the Atturo az850s a try. They're made in Taiwan. They're considered an all-season high-performance SUV truck tire, which has the load capacity, because our cars, don't get me wrong, our cars are heavy. They're 4,000 pounds. And I needed the all-season capability. Plus, I don't want to give up too much of the of the steering, of road handling and manners and all that kind of stuff. So I figured I'd try these. Why not? Under $500, shipped to the door, another $100 and something. So say $600 and something for 4 new tires, for 20-inch tires that are 275, 40, 20s. Okay, well, hey. Now, a lot of complaints I've also heard about these tires were the road noise. And if you can see, listen, I'm trucking along on the highway. They got grooves in it for the water channels and everything like that. I'm talking. I'll stop talking. Look how quiet they are. Look at my steering input too. Very easy. They're not all over the place. I'll put the window down. And I'm up against the barrier, so you'll usually hear like a lot of groaning noises from those cheaper tires, those like high-performance tires. And let me say right off the bat, these are not ultra high-performance tires. They're not going to do well in extreme snow. They're not track tires for like Michelin Pilot or anything along those times. They're not designed for that. They're designed for everyday schmoes like me and you, who ride bumpy roads, who go around little turns, and then we're highway heroes a little bit, going around turns. That's about it. But they are quite capable, to tell you the truth. I waited a while to review these tires. I've gotten over 740 something miles on them now, so I have a really good feel of the tires in all weather, and especially in the wet weather. Oh yes, wet weather. Excellent. Thumbs up. Compared to the good years that we're on here. Thumbs up. Man, I tell you. So, on my way to work, I'm going to take you through a little bit bit of city, a little bit of highway, a little bit of twisty turns, which is like a perfect review for this. And it's kind of going to be a lengthy video. So what I'll try to do in the video is I'll try to put jump 2 points of like turns and stuff like that, so you can, don't have to listen to my mouth gibbering along here. But I figured I'd give a commentary of what I'm feeling and the feedback, and trying to give the camera view and also the view of the G-forces on the car, of what's going on and what these tires are capable of. Again, unbroken pavement. Look at my steering input. The car doesn't wander all over the place. They're very compliant tires, so they're a mix of not too hard, not too soft, and kind of in the middle. And the sidewall stiffness too, kind of in the middle. They don't hammer you to death in the car, but still provide a exceptional performance for turns and everything. Some coffee. Open the window to show you. Put that in the sport mode. We're on some turns over here. What you're going to notice too is I'm going to come around this turn over here. I'm going to hit it a little hot. I can't go crazy, we're on public roads here. But I'm going to come around the turn in sport mode. Some of the nannies are still on, but I'm going to come and hit it a little hard. Look at that. I'm coming and hitting that apex. No problem. But I want to make a note of that. Look at this idiot. Look at this idiot. Look at this idiot. Didn't even see me. But whatever. What I want to demonstrate of that particular turn was the forgiveness of the tire. And what do I mean by that? A lot of the high performance tires are great. They make you look like heroes on the track or on the road here, and you come into a turn really hot, right? And then you have, for the younger folks that have never driven an old sports car, muscle car, anything like that, you didn't have all these traction manuals. You didn't have all these stability controls and launch control and everything that you have now to control everything, to make the driving more experienced. Because these cars are pretty, what am I saying? They're pretty easy to drive at a higher limit, believe it or not, for your inexperienced drivers. But you take all the nanny controls off, you guys be wrapping these cars around a pole like any other teenagers in my age have done before in their older Mustangs and Camaros and all that kind of other stuff. Let's get next to this guy and give him the finger. How about this? Yes. Jersey. So, gave him the finger. Assholes in New Jersey. And so what these tires do, they're extremely compliant. And what I mean by that is that they give you an audible and a feeling of the tire breaking loose before it breaks loose, per se. It doesn't, you don't come into a turn real hot and you're gripping and gripping, and all of a sudden you slide off the road, or you have a complete, you have to constantly autocorrect and everything like that. If you notice, I came around that turn pretty hot, and I'm not going back and forth with the tire trying to correct it. Even in sport mode, it allows you, a little leeway of a little bit of fun before the nannies kick in, but enough to get a little sideways. Tuning and listening on this is that I noticed with the other softer F1 tires, you remember, I only have 17,000 miles on this car, so I have 742 miles on this tire. So the car had 16,000 miles on it when the other tires are. And I don't really race around this car. I drive it as an everyday car, and the tires are completely garbage. They were cupped, not cupped, but they were. My other video shows how bad they were. I didn't rotate them as much as I should have, so on and so forth, but still, I mean, they fell apart at 16,000 miles. So yes, it is a soft tire, yes, it is a high performance tire, yes, I understand it, yes, whatever. But I noticed that with all the Goodyear tires I've ever had, they fall apart. They don't last more than 20,000 miles on the high-performance tires per se. And they seem they can't make a tire that's kind of in between the two without being too greasy. What I mean by that is that too soft or too all over the place. But also at the same time is that those tires picked up a lot of nails. And you know, when you're driving like I do, you're driving through potholes, you're driving through environments that are pretty harsh on tires. And you know, every time I turn around, I got a low warning light, got to put a plug in the tire. You know what I mean? And it's just real pain in the ass. I mean, I had the car probably not even a month when I bought the car originally, and I already put a plug in the tire. I picked up a nail in a parking lot or something like that. Couldn't believe it. So that's another food for thought for those ultra high performance tires. And I gotta laugh at the cars that come with the Michelin Pilot tires too, because you know, at $200+ a tire, you know, and they last maybe 10,000, 12,000 miles if you're lucky. You know, that's a hard pill to swallow. Just to say, okay, hey, I got Michelin Pilots and I can go that .00 whatever it is better on the, you know, on the public highway. Now again, if you're on a racetrack, totally different story, you know. Then I agree. Michelin Pilots, you know, the slicks and all that kind of stuff, that's when you really need, that's when they shine for this. But for everyday cars or everything like that, you need a good all high performance all season tire. And one thing nice about a SUV rated tire for these cars, since our cars are on the heavy side, is that they're more I believe the SUV tires that are rated for a higher, they carry more weight per tire, have extra support within the ribbing of the tire itself. So in turn, that gives you a more robust tire for potholes, for whatever, you know. So that's also a plus. But I'm doing X amount of miles here, and the car is quiet. See? Little inputs on this broken pavement road. And I'm hoping in this video this is coming out, because this will be a nice indicator of what the forces are and the tires are, which is a real nice setup from Dodge, I noticed. And for your naysayers out there, these Dodge Challengers, put correctly, are pretty competent cars as far as handling. Again, they're not an ultra lightweight, high performance per se, like a Mustang, Corvette, Camaro, stuff like that, a BMW M3s and stuff. But this is a big bodied car, you know, it's a very comfortable car, so they do extremely well. I believe that the suspension is based off of Mercedes. You look underneath this car, it looks like old, I mean, it looks like all Mercedes. The transmission, the drive shaft, the rear differential, the trailing arms, everything looks Mercedes. And I'm pretty sure the experts out there can tell me exactly what year, make, and front and rear suspension these cars come off. So this car was built in the time of when Mercedes and Chrysler were together, so you have a lot of Mercedes junk in here. I'm opening the window up here so you can hear humming noise from the roadway to the tire. Show you how quiet they are. Because with the other F1s on this car would howl coming across this bridge. It's hard to show you, but there's grooves cut into the roadway to water channeling to get you actually gripping those bad weather inclements. And again, if you look at the steering input, how it handles some of the expansion joints. And this car is nothing crazy. It's just a stock RT 5.7 motor, mid muffler delete, automatic obviously. you notice when I hit the brakes, even on the grooved highway, they don't make a lot of howling noises. They don't have that grumbling sound as some of the other cheaper tires, or even the ultra high performance tires you'll get. Again, look at the steering input. When I hit the bumps, the car is not searching. And the reason why I'm not going to edit this video too heavily is that I want to show an everyday life of multiple roads, multiple turns, my thought process, or at least to give you a little commentary. And if Atturo, if you're out there listening, give me some more tires. I'll be happy to test some of the stuff in my other vehicles. I got a truck and some other cars, some classic cars if you want to. A couple high performance cars too if you want. You know, you can throw some tires my way. But you have to accept a honest review. It's the only stipulation for anybody who sends me stuff or anything wants to be reviewed. And I say the good, bad, and nasty. Turn over here. This turn has bumps and a sharp pitch angle, so I'm going to try to give you a nice incline without being an asshole. And you can see the bumps here. Look how well this car takes it. Look at the steering input. Again, I'm on a public highway, it's Sunday, you can't really go too crazy in Mexico over here. You don't want the policia to come and break your balls. Oh, for anybody who's wondering, I'm getting, just from this stint over here, probably 16, I was averaging 16 gallons, 16.9 miles per gallon. Not my best. These cars are thirsty when you don't treat them right. Vaping action here. So whoever's interested in buying these tires for their car, for their SUV, for any other car, you gotta really consider this brand. Their prices are extremely reasonable, very well made. Oh, another thing too, forgot to mention, is I've been working on cars forever. I've been building cars. I've always had high performance cars and all that kind of stuff. I've always been a motorhead since 12 years old, 11, 12. My dad got me into it. But one thing I do know is quality. These tires are quality. price, for the unbelievably low price, their quality. And how I can articulate that is that when I brought them to the tire shop, now with these type of rims, you know, with these big 20-inch, you know, when you get anything over like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, obviously, you need to use a quality tire shop. You can't go to a place that just has an older tire machine and peel these tires, because they're going to wind up scratching the powder coating or the chrome finish on your wheels. They could possibly bend into some of the high performance wheels with their lightweight wheels. You need to use something like a Hunter machine, which peels the tire from the rim. It doesn't actually make physical contact with the rim. But when I went to the tire shop, I explained to him what I was doing, what I was reviewing, and these type of tires. And he was also curious too, because he's heard a lot about, you know, the tires made in Thailand and the Chinese tires, and you know, he was skeptical. So this was like a perfect test bed for both of us. He wanted to see the quality, I wanted to see the quality, and I wanted to, you know, give these tires a fair shot. Now, one thing that was really cool about this is that no tire manufacturer can make a tire round, completely round, perfectly symmetrical, blah blah blah. No mass-produced tire company can make a rim that's perfectly round, symmetrical, without any kind of hiccups or anything like that. You only get into the really good rims when you're looking at the $5,000 mark of custom-made, CNC'd, three-piece wheels that are really in spec for racing and stuff like that. You know, those tires, a lot of times those rims and tires can be balanced with minimal amount of weight. Now, getting to that, you have your dots, your low and high spots on your tires. Now, we played around with that. We put it where the manufacturer says for the low spot for the valve stem, blah blah, you know, all that kind of good stuff. You guys can look that up on a different tire review stuff, or you know, a person can explain that better than I can. But before he put any kind of weights on the car, on the tires, he used the manufacturer's dot mark to put it where the low spot was versus the high spot of the rim, and used minimal amount of weights to balance these tires. And what that's telling you is that not only is the forged wheels from Dodge that you get, plus the Atturo tires, they're pretty good. They're really good, because if you have a tire that you're putting a ton of weight on to get it to balance out, you know there's imperfections in the tire. And these tires, all four of them, believe it or not, came in with a minimal amount of weight. He was kind of shocked, because you know, he hasn't seen that in a while. And again, we played around with the tire to move it around to the low and high spot, you know, spun it. We were just kind of experimenting just to see, you know, how good we could get them without having to put weights on them. And he worked with me. You know, any good tire place will work with you, and it's well worth it, because you have less weight on the wheels. They don't have those weird funky vibrations and all that kind of stuff. And then you also want to do is not just a static balance, but a load balance. It means when there's a roller on the tire that puts weight on the tire, it simulates the weight of the vehicle. Not those cheaper ones that just spins a tire and it just does like a static type of balance. That's well worth paying the extra dollars for it. It was like $172, but he spent, since it was like a project type of thing, you know, he spent a good 2 hours putting these tires on it and then fumbling around with them a little bit to see how good we could get it. It was really, and it's just a shame because I didn't bring my camera with me. I didn't think he would allow me to video it, and I should have brought my camera so we could video that whole process, but whatever, we'll do something in the future. I really thank you guys for sticking with me, and this is just a normal car guy review of these tires, and not going too crazy, just to show you a quick glimpse of what these tires are capable of, the az850 Atturos, and my thoughts and views on it. So click subscribe, thumbs up, give me some comments of what videos you'd like to see. Okay, thank you very much for watching, appreciate it.